Of course, oh! Big knockdown for Dan Hooker, Vic's out!
That's it.
The Hangman back in a massive way tonight! Wow!
You know, you've got to think that when the first round passes you by and you didn't do,
A lovely flurry at the end of the contest.
that came out of nowhere.
Dan Hooker versus Arnold Allen. Hey MMA fans of MMA Inside, we are back again with another event that will add up more fire to the UFC London card, which will take place in March, and is already looking pretty stacked with the fighters. The names, like that of Tom Aspinall, Alexander Volkov, and Paddy Pimblett, are all taking their place on the show card. It was not done until another big fight was added to the mix, as Dan Hooker prepares to go toe-to-toe with promising young British fighter Arnold Allen. This will serve as a sparking featherweight test for Hooker. Allen, who is just 28 years old, holds an unbeaten 8-win record in the UFC. The fight of Dan Hooker has been announced against Arnold Allen. Following the announcement, the Hangman took to Instagram to react to the bout announcement, captioning the photo he wrote, "Once more unto the breach, dear friends. 8 weeks out, March 19th, UFC London." It's not yet known where the Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker bout will land on the fight card. Considering Hooker's name value, the expectation is that it'll slide into the co-main event slot. In the main event, Tom Aspinall will lock horns with Alexander Volkov in a deciding matchup for the heavyweight division. Why is Dan Hooker returning to featherweight? For the first time in over past 5 years, Dan Hooker will be shredding back down to 145 pounds, the weight class where he started his UFC journey. He will be doing off the back of some unfortunate results that have seen him lose 3 of his last 4 matchups in UFC. His disappointing yet appreciable run of form includes losses against Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, and most recently, a first-round submission loss to rising star Islam Makhachev.
Oh, he's stepping over the head here. Oh, Dan's got his hands locked. Oh, it's a drop. Oh, my goodness.
Islam Makhachev submits Dan Hooker in round 1!
Hooker has been in this game a long time and clearly acknowledges that he needs to do something drastic. Taking a fight against a promising prospect like Arnold Allen will really fit that description. Hooker recently alluded to the advancements in the science of weight cutting and the state-of-the-art facilities on offer at the UFC Performance Institute. In an appearance on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, the Kiwi said,
"From when I was there in the past and to where I am now, just obviously the science and the people that are a part of the UFC, like Charles, the Angry Dietitian, there's the Fight Dietitian that I work very closely with, and Clint and the people at the PI have all been it's been smooth sailing. That took me all 2 weeks to get down and cut to that weight. So if I can do it in 2 weeks on holiday, you give me a fight, like that's a whole different story."
Suffolk UFC star Arnold Allen says his upcoming clash with Kiwi superstar Dan Hooker will cement his place among the world's elite fighters. Allen welcomes Hooker back to the featherweight division in a fight which is likely to serve as the co-main event of UFC London at the O2 Arena in March. Hooker is known in the sport as being a wildly exciting and incredibly game fighter, a dangerous striker who only comes up short against the very best on the planet. And Allen, 28, sees this fight as the one in which he can really make a statement after years of flying under the radar, despite his spotless record and incredibly rounded skill set.
How do you see Hooker as an opponent?
Obviously, physically, he imposes issues. Like he's 12 foot tall, I think. And but yeah, like he's as game as they come. Like you say, he's lost to elite fighters only, and he's got some wins over some massive names already. Like big knockout. He's knocked out Gilbert Burns. He's been in wars with Dustin Poirier, who just recently fought for the lightweight title.
Yeah.
And if this fight doesn't raise my profile and put me up with the big boys, I don't know what will. And also, the division is kind of in a funny limbo place. I think I'm number 6 or 7 at the minute. And all the guys in that top 5 are kind of tied up, or they're only going to fight someone in that top 5. And yeah, so this fight makes more sense than someone ranked below me. He's a bigger name. He's a bigger person. He's coming down from lightweight. And this, I think this does more for my stock than fighting someone at the arse end of the rankings.
Of the much taller and longer Hooker as an opponent, Allen added,
it's kind of the opposite of everything other than Sadiq. Everything I fought in the UFC has been like a short, stocky wrestler that's pretty much tried to take me down. Yeah, even Gilbert Melendez was you know, a bit taller than me, but he was shooting takedowns, and so there was a lot of counter striking and stuff. But for that, you have to be a lot lower and sort of match the takedown. With this, obviously, he's a lot taller. He's very long with his knees, so you'll be keeping your head out of that danger. So just little strategical adjustments, you know, little things.
With all words spoken by Allen, shows how he really respects and admires the fight game of Dan Hooker, while it's rare to showcase such an attitude towards opponent. It will be interesting to see who will get his hands raised up at the end of the fight. So that's enough from us today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and hate, or the hangman will come to hang you. Don't forget to watch the next upcoming videos related to UFC and MMA.